What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Cardano, Chainlink, and Algorand. Of course, these are cryptos that a lot of people are following, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, why are they pumping? Why are they not pumping? How high could they go? When could they pump? This type of stuff. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, guys, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of these cryptos. Your analysis could be different, and as I love to say, guys, if your analysis is different, that's awesome, because the more difference of opinion we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. So with that being said, guys, let's get started here with Cardano. And of course, it's interesting because Cardano's kind of been chopping around, of course, the price action with everything rallying. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, why isn't Cardano pumping? Why isn't Cardano pumping? And the short answer, guys, is I think because there hasn't been any clear catalyst yet that would take ADA higher. But I do think that this is going to change in the next couple of weeks. And I think the one thing that, of course, a lot of people in the Cardano community will know is that Charles Hoskinson is looking to get kind of involved in crypto policy. And of course, he's not really going to be able to do that until Trump takes office later this month officially. I think it's on the 20th. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that once Trump does get, officially sworn in, or whatever the official process is there on the 20th, the inauguration, I'm sure that we're going to see US-based cryptos such as Cardano, such as Algorand do extremely well. But of course, we'll get back to Algorand in a bit. So I guess a long-winded way of saying, guys, is that I think it's probably going to be another week or so before Algorand continues moving higher. What's really interesting, guys, some of you might remember that we covered Cardano here not super long ago. And as you can see, this is on the daily chart, by the way, guys. I haven't actually touched anything here since we last covered Cardano, which is pretty awesome. I mean, it's awesome in the sense that the analysis seems to be on point, but not so awesome that ADA fell below that support level, which of course that was due to a combination of bearish factors like the Fed being a little bit more hawkish than expected and stuff that happened over the second half of December. But with that in mind, guys, we can see that the structure here is pretty much intact. ADA is still looking very bullish, and I do think it's going to hit that $1.75 target. And of course, the way we arrive at that target, guys, is we basically look at the recent price action. We say, okay, when did this most recent pump start? Clearly, it's somewhere around 75 cents. And then we have to ask, okay, where were prices struggling to get above? Clearly, that's somewhere around $1.25. So we take the difference between those two levels, which is of course 50 cents, and we add that difference to the resistance, and that gives us a target of $1.75, which from the current price, of course, would be around a 75% gain to the upside, which is pretty juicy. But do keep in mind, guys, that ADA does need to break above this resistance level. It needs to get above this $1.25 level before we can start getting too excited. And of course, I do think that's going to be happening here in the coming days. It wouldn't surprise me at all if it comes actually by the end of this week. And again, we're on the daily chart here, and this is, just to be clear, guys, this is not a cycle top target for ADA or anything. This is just a target over the next couple of weeks. It wouldn't surprise me at all if ADA hits this target, if that kind of coincides with Trump being inaugurated later this month, or maybe a few days after that, when he starts, maybe signing some executive orders around crypto that is really beneficial to the crypto industry in the US. So a long-winded way of saying, guys, is that I do think that ADA is headed higher here from this current level. I do think it's going to rally by at least 75%. Again, this is in the short to medium term over the next couple of weeks. And after that, we're going to reassess and see how much higher ADA could go. We have to take things one step at a time. We can't let, our greed, our FOMO get too ahead of ourselves. Otherwise, especially if you're trading, you're really going to get messed up when you start saying, oh, it has to go to $2 or it has to go to $3. We're going to take things one step at a time. And that's what I'm going to be doing every single week here with you guys. And of course, we were using Bybit there. So if you guys are interested in making a Bybit account, you can get up to $60,000 in rewards using the link in the description. We also have trading fee discounts on OKX, KuCoin, Binance, and I believe another one here. I guess I completely missed that. I think we used to have Blowfin. For those of you looking for the Blowfin deal, I actually think we shelved that for the time being. That's probably the one that's missing. So just a heads up that the Blowfin deal is on hold just for the time being, let's say. So we do have OKX, KuCoin, and Binance, which of course are the three big, or some of the three biggest crypto exchanges. And in my opinion, guys, these trading fee discounts will help you out a lot. Even if you're just trading with a few $100s, a few $1,000s, if you're trading frequently, these trading fee discounts will help you a lot. You will save, $10, $20, $50. I know this from experience, guys. So do take advantage of those deals. It doesn't cost you a thing. It's completely free. The exchange gets a new user, you get a trading fee discount, and we get a cut of those fees. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. That's how the Coin Bureau makes its money. No paid shilling or anything like that. I know a lot of people, whenever we say anything positive or negative about a crypto, they accuse us of being like a Solana shill or Cardano shill or whatever. But to be honest, guys, all we do is we just drive users to these exchanges, regardless regardless of what you enjoy, regardless of what crypto you like, you can get this trading fee discount. And of course, we also have the Coin Bureau Club where we're analyzing altcoins regardless of the ecosystem they belong to. Now, with that being said, guys, let's move on here to Chainlink. And this is where, we also have to ask, okay, like what is going to be the catalyst that takes Link higher? I think the answer, guys, is very easily real world assets. Of course, Chainlink, this is somewhere where Chainlink has been getting very involved. Of course, they kind of like first dominated DeFi. I mean, I'm kind of like reading off the post here, but they first dominated DeFi. Now they're getting into TradFi. And I guess they're going to power a global blockchain economy that secures all the world's data and value, which is a little bit vague, but I would interpret that as just being that, it's going to be a lot of real world asset stuff. And I do think that this is going to take off also probably when Trump takes office, or rather after the inauguration. I think there's going to be a lot of activity in the real world asset space just because that BlackRock and these big institutions are into that. And of course, for these real world assets to work, you need data feeds. And this is the type of stuff that Chainlink provides. And it's without a doubt the largest oracle in crypto and the most capable of providing the most data feeds, if that makes any sense. So with that in mind, guys, we can now turn over to the chart, which same story as with ADA. I haven't really changed anything here since we last covered Link. I think it was a few weeks back. Of course, just like ADA, it did, fail to hold this support level and did fall all the way back down to the starting point of $20. But with that being said, guys, again, the setup, just like ADA, is still looking very bullish. I do think Link is headed higher here in the coming days. Again, this is on the daily chart. So let's take things step by step here, guys. Of course, the starting point of this most recent move, this most recent structure is quite clearly somewhere around $20. The resistance I thought was somewhere around $27, but you can see that Link actually got above that. And I would actually take this as evidence of whales kind of manipulating things, guys, because I do think that there's a lot of traders who are watching these levels and they're saying, oh, it's above $27 and we saw a couple daily closes. It means it's going to go for $34. And of course, the whales come in and they dump, and everyone who was going long from that resistance level gets wrecked. And that's why you end up with this huge kind of like waterfall here of this huge drawdown, because so many people were going long, and then whales came in and dumped, and then there was a whole bunch of long liquidations. And this is very common, guys. It's not just in Link. This happens a lot in larger altcoins and altcoins in general. So, I'm not like hating on Link or anything here. I'm not saying Link is manipulated. This unfortunately happens to most cryptos, especially when we're zooming into these lower time frames. You do see a lot of manipulation like this. So just do keep that in mind, that I'm not hating on Link there, and that this is something that is common among most cryptos. With that being said, guys, of course, starting point of $20, resistance of around $27. I think that still holds. And when we take the difference there, that's $7. And when we add that difference to the resistance, we get a target of $34, which from the resistance level would be around a 30% gain. And of course, from the current price, we'd be looking at that's a 45 or 40% gain, which is not too shabby at all. But again, as I was saying with ADA, Link does need to get back above this resistance level. I do think that the next time it gets above this resistance level, we're probably not going to see the same kind of manipulation again. I do think that even these whales that are kind of manipulating the prices, they do want it to go higher. Maybe we'll see a manipulation like that around the $34 target. Like, maybe it'll go to 34 and then go significantly higher, maybe like 38 and then crash back down to 34 before moving higher, something like that, So for those of you who like take profits at $34, then you'll see it going to 38 and you'll FOMO back in. And as soon as you FOMO back in, that's when they dump on you. That's how crypto works, guys. Just to keep that in mind. And I should have also mentioned on the ADA chart that do keep an eye out for that $22 support level. I do think that's still valid. So if we see a pullback in the short term, it's possible that Link will fall down to $22, but I don't think it's going to go back down to the starting point. Same thing with ADA. I don't think it's going to go back down to its starting point at this stage, because things are just looking very bullish. So now, guys, turning over to Algorand, and this is where things get interesting, and I must say genuinely interesting. One of the things that I've been highlighting in my analysis here, guys, you guys might remember, is that I've focused a lot on like this narrative of crypto payments, and where there's payments, there's savings. So I guess I'll take a step back and explain that. In my view, I think that we're going to see Solana emerge as like the chain for payments with PYUSD. We're going to see Base emerge as the chain for payments with USDC, and I think that Aptos is going to be the chain for payments for USDT. With that being said, though, guys, of course, Algorand does seem to have a very good relationship with Circle. If memory serves, I actually think that, or no, that was for Near Protocol. Sorry, I'm mixing things up, guys, here. Regardless, as you can see here, basically the Para ALGO wallet is in the process of basically integrating with MasterCard, and they're going to be doing payments basically through this Algorand wallet. And that's not surprising to me at all. I do think that this is a big narrative. I think this is something that Algorand could capitalize on, and clearly that's what they're planning on doing. And the thing, and I guess that'll be the alpha at the end of the video. Again, like I was saying, where there's payments, there's savings. like all of these crypto projects that are focusing on payments, of course, like the payment rail will be Algorand, right? But then the question is, okay, like, so you have this USDC in your Algorand wallet. Are you just going to have it sitting there earning no yield or whatever? Surely there's going to be some savings account or something like that, right? And so a little bit of a heads up there. This is the alpha I'll be touching on at the end of the video. I'm going to be kind of speculating on like which protocols will be the savings protocols for these different chains. It's something I've mentioned to our Coin Bureau Club members. But anyways, guys, for now, let's focus on Algorand here. And again, same story as with ADA and Link. The analysis was pretty correct, but unfortunately, the support did not hold here. You saw ALGO fall quite, all the way back down to its starting point. But thankfully, it's bounced from that level. We have a nice little double bottom pattern forming here, and I do think that ALGO is going to be back at this resistance level in no time, and then going for that 72-cent target. And again, guys, the way that we calculate that, we look at this most recent move. Again, we're on the daily, and we say, okay, where did this start? Somewhere around 32 cents, I would say. Okay, you can make the case that somewhere around 30 cents or whatever, but I like to be conservative in my analysis, guys. And as you can see, this analysis seems to be accurate because 32 cents does seem to be the more significant key level here. Anyways, starting point of 32 cents, we have resistance of around 52 cents quite clearly here. You can see that prices were struggling to get above. And of course, that gives us a difference of around 20 cents. And all we have to do is take the difference, add it to the resistance, and we get a target of 72 cents, which from the current price, you'd be looking at around a 70% gain to the upside. So I believe, if memory serves, that's the same as what ADA is looking at right now. So that's a pretty sizable gain. But of course, just like ADA, just like Link, Algo does need to get above this resistance level of 52 cents before we can start getting too excited. It needs to see a confirmation that it's going to be moving higher. But for those of you who are holding Algo now and you don't really care about these short-term moves, then don't be surprised if you see a 70% gain here in the next couple of weeks. And I do think that just like ADA, just like Link, this will coincide to Trump's inauguration around January 20th, maybe a few days after that. So by the end of the month, don't be surprised at all if these targets are being hit. And of course, guys, this brings me to the Coin Bureau Club, which I'm going to be shilling at the end of every single video, because that's where, I would say like most of our alpha can be found. In the Coin Bureau Club, we're doing deep dives into small caps and mid caps every single week. We do like a 20 to 30 minute video, like deep dive into promising small caps. The way that we pick these small caps is we do weekly altcoin review polls, where basically the cryptos in those polls are chosen by our research team as well as members of the Coin Bureau community, because we have a lot of people in the community that are super smart. And then of course we have a research feed where we're sharing insights about the crypto market and all this altcoin alpha, the type of stuff I'm sharing at the end of these videos. We showcase our personal crypto portfolios as well as the cryptos that we're watching. I actually did a portfolio update earlier today. We have an exclusive deals page where you can find pretty substantial discounts, I would say, on like crypto tracking analytics platforms, stuff like that. And we also have a members Discord where you can ask us questions and hang out with other members. And I would say it's a really tightly knit, closely knit community. We've had a lot of the members in there have been there since we launched the Coin Bureau Club, I think over a year ago, over a year and a few months back. So it's you're dealing with crypto veterans. It's not like people coming in and asking, like what's the price target? What's the price target? It's people who are really getting into the weeds and doing research and going down rabbit holes, which I'm sure, a lot of people in the Cardano, Chainlink, and Algorand community love to do. With that being said, guys, speaking of rabbit holes, so here I'm on DeFi Llama, which for those of you who don't know, DeFi Llama basically looks at basically all the DeFi protocols on different crypto blockchains and lets you see how much money is deposited into each of them. And the reason why I'm on Algorand is because what I'm very curious about, like I was saying, guys, is I do think that Algorand is kind of angling to get into payments. And like I said, where there's payments, there's savings. So I guess maybe I'll take it from the top just to explain. In Solana's case, I do think that the savings protocol, my personal opinion is that the savings protocol is going to be Save Finance for Solana, because that's really what they're angling to. They're trying to become, they're explicitly trying to like pivot. They recently rebranded, looking to become like a savings protocol. Some would argue that maybe it's going to be another crypto protocol like Camino, which also offers lending and of course is much bigger. But I would argue that Save is like, they're really gunning for that to be that decentralized savings protocol. Whether or not that will be the case, who knows? So that's Solana. Then that's for PYUSD, I personally think. And then for Base, which is Coinbase's layer 2, I think actually the savings protocol here, I don't think it's listed potentially, but this would be a protocol called Pool Together, which maybe I'll just pull up here. That what Pool Together basically does, guys, is it basically, well, as the name suggests, it pools together yield from all these different protocols. So basically, or rather, it pools together everyone's money, deposits it into a protocol. You can withdraw whenever you want. It takes a small percentage of the interest being earned on that money and then gives it out as like a daily lottery. It's like a lottery. I think there's a lottery like every hour, every day, every 3 months or whatever. So it's basically like a decentralized, like no loss lottery savings protocol. And it's a small one, but it's one that's very well known, or was very well known. Coinbase actually did allocate some liquidity to pull together in the early days. Like when DeFi was getting started, Coinbase actually allocated money to Uniswap and Pool Together, which in my view is a pretty big deal. That kind of tells you that, they viewed those projects as being on the same level. And of course, Uniswap is much bigger. And then that leaves, of course, here Aptos, which is where things get interesting. I recently got a confirmation, or I guess we got confirmation through like insider. We basically just like asked around, and people confirmed that yes, Aries markets will be used as the savings protocol on Aptos. Unfortunately, Aries does not have a token, but for whatever that's worth, it looks like the savings protocol to accompany the payments for Aptos will be Aries markets. So for anyone who's using that, who knows, maybe you'll get an airdrop or something in the future. But anyways, guys, back to Algorand here. So the question is, with all that in mind, like I was just explaining, you're going to have payments on the front end, savings protocols on the back end. So what is going to be the savings protocol for Algorand? Well, I mean, there's a couple possibilities here, but to be honest, guys, like none of them really stick out to me. And to be honest, guys, if you did make it this far and you're curious about this stuff, I would like to hear your feedback. Like which protocol do you think on Algorand will be the savings protocol? Because right now there aren't really any that stuck out to me. I was taking a quick look before I started filming this video, and honestly, like there's nothing in there that really stuck out to me. I think you can tell that most of the stuff here is RWAs, indexes, and there's not really anything in here that's like kind of like yield. And I suspect that's because there's not too much on-chain activity on Algorand yet. But as you guys can see, it does look like it's growing. And of course, that does coincide with Algo's price, because Algo is used as collateral in these DeFi protocols and as a trading pair. But regardless, guys, you can see that Algorand's DeFi ecosystem is pumping up here. And I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes peeled, to see like which protocol Algorand is going to be using for savings in the Petra wallet. And if anyone has that information already, then feel free to drop that in the comments. I'm sure we would all love to hear that alpha. With that being said, guys, if you did make it this far, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.